What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And tonight's video, which was planned to be a discussion about the market freefall, has suddenly changed into a discussion of whether or not we have hit the bottom and have entered into the new phase of accumulation. Could the distribution phase be over? I don't know. There's evidence to show that it might be over. So we're going to look at some NFT prices and we're going to discuss several things related to buying and selling, market strategy, and what we learned from the last market cycle and how you should make your plans for the next one now that you have seen the evidence of how these four phases play out during each cycle. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at a few of the items that I call market indicators, and we are using the my-nft-tracker.com website tonight, and we will look up a few of the items that I call the leading indicators of what's going on. So we'll start with the Todd McFarlane Batman, if I can. I'm typing it in here and it's behind me, so I can't see. I can't see the search box. So there it actually is. We're sitting at a price of 6,980 gems. Now let's take a look at the chart. This is the 3-day chart, a little bouncy there. We have a low point under 6,000. Let's zoom out to the 7-day. And on the 7-day, we see a general down slope. Now we have ticked up from the low point, which I believe was 5,886, but let's zoom out to 30 days to make sure that we have that correct low point. And it looks like 5,886 was the low point. So when we are on this 3-day, it's kind of like you want to get excited because this appeared to be the bottom. And then from this point, yes, we're definitely bouncing up. We're already at 7,000. And that is quite exciting. But when we look at the 30-day or beyond, it looks a little bit different. We know that there are 4 phases that have to complete in order to call this a cycle. Let's go through those again, just in case you don't know what those are. This first phase is the accumulation phase right here. And we had like a couple tiers on this one. The next one is the consolidation where things start to get choppy and they bump up. There it is right there. And then phase number 3 is the markup phase. There it is. And then you have your blow off top right there. And then the next phase after that is distribution, where we sail down until we find the new base level, which should be higher than the previous. So if we draw a line here, here's our previous base coming on down. We're certainly above the previous base, somewhere around 2,000, or even if you wanted to call the 4,000 point from the consolidation phase, we're above that. But when we look at this overall chart, it's not definite. We're not absolutely 100% sure that this is over. But combined with the evidence of what we saw after this weekend's drop, for the first time in a long time, we had a major market bounce up after the market came back open following the drop. That is a good indication because there were several drops before this one where the market did not have that strong bounce back. Now let's look at some Disney items. I'm going to try to keep this reasonably short, but we'll get all the evidence that we need. How about if I just scoot myself over here? Then I'll be able to actually see the search box. So we're going to back it up, hit the search box, and let's just type in Disney because there are several Disney items that I consider to be market indicators. The one I watch the most closely is Daisy Duck, which is at 385. And again, that's a pretty big, strong bounce considering we were just sitting down here at a floor price of 229. I didn't even catch that. I think the lowest I saw it was when it was at 265. So that's definitely a bounce. Going from 229 to 380, it looks like it's headed towards a double, and that's pretty good for a short period of time. So again, this would indicate to me just from the 3-day chart that the bottom is in. But like always, we've got to zoom out to make sure of what we're looking at and if it looks the same from the 7-day and the 30-day and the all-time. Looks good on the 7-day. That's quite a dead cat bounce right there, taking it almost back to the 400 mark that we were in at the beginning of the week. So let's zoom out and see what the 30-day looks like. 30-day actually looks pretty good too, because we've got this long trend line that is kind of headed downwards like this. And when we extend it, it looks like the trend line has been broken. Okay, I think that's a breakout. So right now, I would say that Daisy's telling us the bottom is in. Now, let's make sure there's not any more data left here, and there's not. So 30 days out, taking us back to January 30th. I think Daisy is ready to move on. Let's go to, how about a happy whistle is probably a good indicator, a good market indicator. We're sitting at a floor price of 666, the number of the beast. All right, so on the 3-day, this looks like a breakout. It looks like the bottom was around 414. Zooming out to the 7-day, it looks like on the 7-day that we've taken out this previous high, or at least matched it. We had 660 here and 666. We're above it. So that indicates breakout. And on the 30-day, this is a toss-up, but I think this chart is saying that the bottom's in. Let's just make an average line throughout this whole downtrend process, and we can see that it broke out a few times, here and there, but this one is going far and beyond the previous breakouts. So I think that is evidence also to say that the bottom is in. Okay, let's look at golden moments. I think the rest of the lenticulars are probably going to be the same. And let's pick up some of the golden moments that have been around. Iron Man sitting at 1790. And looking at the 3-day, that's looking pretty strong, but it doesn't take out this previous high of 1900. So that's not definitive. Let's look at the 7-day. 7-day, no, that's not enough evidence. Previous 2 peaks are pretty strong. On the 30-day, no, the bottom's not in on this one. Or at least we can't say for sure, because what we could do, we could connect these lines at the peaks, and it hasn't even broken out of the trend. If we go through here on the kind of the lows or the mediums, we've got a definite downward trending trading channel where price likes to go up and down, up and down. All right, so until Iron Man comes out of this and breaks through here, it's not telling us that I'm ready to turn to the next cycle and start accumulation. I'd be real curious to see what the Vault is telling us. Let's just look at a couple more. We'll do Vault. Partner statue. Price is currently at 28.5. And looking at this chart, no. We've got a previous high just within 3 days that was all the way up here at 29,995. Let's look at the 7-day. Nope. That's not looking definite. With the previous, before the 29, it's all the way at the 34,000 mark. And then back here, we're at 34,699. Looking at the 30-day, it's kind of similar to Iron Man, where we're not even breaking through the channel. Let's put all of the history in here. Yeah, there's no evidence here. We can't call this one. I mean, it might be right around the corner. It might shoot out of this like tomorrow. It very well could. It could. I'm not saying that this is definite. This is just a guess. And plus, we have more of a rounding here and not a straight trading channel. But if we connect the dots, we have not kind of broken out of this really sloppy. This is a hard one to call. See there? I got to make more lines just to make a parallel trading channel. But this is not breaking out of the upper downward sloping parallel trending channel line. Okay. Well, let's move along to maybe a couple other categories. We did the Todd. Let me look on my list. Let's see here. I think that's enough really to call it. If we want to check out the hat and then check out R2D2, that should pretty much do it. Here's R2D2. Not breaking away from the highs from the previous 3 days on the 3-day chart. Let's see if the 7-day looks better. No, it does not. 30-day chart, we're not breaking highs here. It's very similar to Vault. So I don't even need to draw the lines on this one. It's very similar. If you connect the dots on the top, we haven't broken out of this downward trending trading channel. All right, let's go with the hat. And I'm going to tell you right now, the hat's probably going to be the same because we are sitting at 3099. Well, the 3-day looks okay. We haven't beaten this previous high here at 3150, so that's not a definite. How about the 7-day? The 7-day is not. We got this high point here at 3,500, so that's not an absolute. We've got the 30-day is not looking good, so that's still downtrend. All right, putting in all of the data, and definitely not. Okay, we're not even at half of what the blow off top was at 6,900. So don't take this the wrong way. I don't know where the bottom is or when it's going to happen, but we just look and check what the chart is trying to tell us and just try to make a decision of, is this definite? Here's the channel right there. Are we out of this? Not yet. And like I said, it could happen tomorrow. I mean, this could be it right now where it does this. It's close enough because this has been quite a distribution phase. I think we're very close. Okay, so let's clear that out. And we'll look at one more, I promise, and then I'll get to my notes on some advice that I want to give you all. I bought the secret rare invisible woman to complete my set. And it's kind of funny because people often ask me, well, why are you collecting invisible woman? It ain't going to go nowhere. It doesn't have a XYZ ABC tag. And, you know, it's been languishing down. I am a contrarian. I buy contrary to what everybody else in the market is doing and to the opposite of what your opinions are. Now, I purchased my secret rare for 690 gems, and I think I did pretty good. It's at 890. I think it was at 900 before I shot the video. So let's scroll on down, and this says breakout. All right, the Disneys don't, but this says breakout on the 3-day, eclipsing all previous highs. If we look at the 7-day, says breakout, eclipsing all previous highs. Let's take it to the 30-day. The 30-day says breakout, but it's not absolute. Okay, let's just put a line in here through these highs and take it on down. Well, that I changed my mind there. The 30-day is absolute. We've broken through. So you can see this now. You can see how we've broken through the trend line. You know, we make our two trends, connect the dots on the top, connect the dots on the bottom. No more bouncing in between. It done blowed clean out the rooftop there. All right. Now, last but not least, let's go to the all and see if there's more data there. And there is. We were above 2,000, which is pretty sweet. And just to think, I got it down at 690, and it looks like the low here of what it's showing is 650. Maybe I was wrong about 640. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can live with that. It's going to go up from here. If we make the line on this chart, we could say, not including the blow off tops there, if we just take the regular line, it's broken free. So there is evidence for and against. The Disneys say that we're not there yet, and these other items say that we are. If not, we're close. We're close, but we are certainly out of the free fall zone, okay? I think we're definitely out of that zone. Now, before I go through my notes, I want to show you one thing. Let's go to the homepage. One thing I really like about this website is that we can get these categories here where cheapest NFTs. I love this. We saw comics dipping down to, I think, like 7 gems. And there's still several that are very cheap in price. I've been scooping up tons of comics, especially the ones that people say aren't going to go up, like Spider-Man #1. This one I'm getting, Spider-Man #1, rather. I'm piling up on this one. I think I've got 3 or 4 now. I've got 8 Peter Parkers. I've got like 8 to 10 of Amazing. I think I have 16 of one of them. I can't remember. I think it's this one, Web of Spider-Man 31. I've got like 16 of that. I've just been piling them up. I like them. I read them, and when I read it and I enjoy the story, I buy more. It just kind of gets me motivated. You know, if I like the art or if I like the story of a comic, I'm going to support it because it's entertaining to me, and that's where I'm going to place my bets. All right, let's move my handsome face over here to this side, and we'll make me a little bit bigger. Can we make my face bigger? Apparently not. Oh well. I'll pull in my notes here, and I'm going to scroll down and just hit on a few topics that I wanted to give you advice-wise. Okay, so talking about this market free fall. We have the 1,000 gem minimum thing, and there was some discussion on whether or not if you had 1,200 gems, would you only be able to cash out $200, where you could never touch that 1,000. Type in the comments if you think that's the case, because I think that's wrong. I think the 1,000 minimum just means get to a certain point before you take your conversion out, okay? And when we were in the free fall, we had two things that were going on. Thing number one, we had big drops that were happening and people selling off items to get those big drops. And number two, people trying to work up to their 1,000 gem minimum. Now, the jury's still out on whether or not the selling is done for those who are trying to accomplish getting the 1,000 gem balance so they can cash out. All right. That might still be going on and it might be over. Post in the comments if you are working towards getting that 1,000 gem balance, or if you've already got it, or if you're like me and you're nowhere near selling because you're more of a long-term holder. So one is I'm working on selling stuff so I can get the 1,000. Two is I've already got my 1,000. I'm ready to cash out. And three is I'm holding for the long term and I'm not going anywhere. I had a comment on the last video asking if I believe that market prices were going down because of Russian citizens who are on the app who are selling because of the impending economic woes that could be coming because of the sanctions. And my heart goes out to all of our friends in Russia, especially our VeVe Crypto Pro gang members. Shout out to you guys. I really am concerned because if things get tough economically, they might have to unload. But I don't think that that's the reason why we were seeing market prices going down. I think it's just a normal cycle. And on the other end, anyone from Ukraine, please post in the comments and tell us you're okay, or report on your families. I want to know if you guys are okay too. And if we can get enough of us together. I love the fact that we have people from Ukraine, Russia, United States, South America, North America, everywhere across the globe where we have common ground right here. We love VeVe collecting and love one another, and we need more of that. It's so sad that the world leaders can get into conflict and then throw us into the middle of it when we love each other. But anyway, I'm hoping all of you all are okay, and please let me know in the comments. Next is this. When the selling phase levels off, okay, and all the short-term collectors have exited who have gotten their 1,000, we're going to go into accumulation. But one thing I did expect to see a strong bounce, and we saw that after this drop completed today on the car. I would expect to see a nice level time period where it gets kind of boring for a little bit. And then looking back after watching what happened after that last blow off top in November, I hope people learn their lessons, because there's a lot of people that have bought stuff at 3 and 4x of the price of what things are selling on the market right now. All right. And now that we have seen that, pardon me, I hope you carry that forward to the next market cycle, the next phase, and use that knowledge so that you can make the greatest gains. And here's the thing. While fear is at its peak, and I think the fear, we're coming down. We're not at max fear because now the conflict in the Ukraine we're aware of that. Now we're factoring that into our decisions. So it's not fresh news. We know about it. And so I believe that fear has leveled off. And then the fear of prices falling during the free fall phase, I think that's coming down. And so that, to me, is also an indication that we could be close to a bottom, or maybe we've already had the bottom. All right. But here's the big advice I want to give to some of you new collectors. The biggest gains are made when people invest at the bottom of the market when fear is at its greatest point. And that is not financial advice, okay? But when you have a great risk, there is a great reward. Now, when you do it backwards, when you're buying into a run, what you're risking is losing your money. You're not doing the type of risk that can bring the great reward, because you're buying when the mob is buying, after the frenzy has happened, after we're headed straight up to a market cycle peak and a blow off top. And for those of you that held on after that blow off top, it's hard to sell on the way down, because you'll be chasing prices down and you can't get stuff listed quick enough from the people that are undercutting you. So now is the time to accumulate if you want to make some good gains. All right? Hopefully you learned that lesson. Here's the other bit of advice that I want to give you. Make a strategy and factor in the fees, guys. You got a 10% cash out fee. You're going to have the fee from, the 8 to 10% or whatever that goes to Marvel or Disney or whatever. I've heard that there are taxes. I'm not sure. Post in the comments if you've cashed out and you had a tax fee there. But let's say if you got 2,000 gems and you sell, you could be giving up $400 or $500 in fees. So was it worth you selling out at 2,000 to just profit $500 over your initial investment of 1,000 gems? Ask yourself that question. For me, I'm not selling until the next market cycle peak and maybe the next one after that. I will sell when I'm at the 20 to 50 or even 100x gains. That's the point where I sell. Now, last year I got lucky, and when I was selling on eBay, I was already up like 50x or more, maybe even 100 on some of these items, and made some good quick cash. But I'm not selling now, okay, because I'm going to wait until I am so far above the entry level price that it's worth a while once you deduct the fees. All right. And it's going to be easier for me because I buy at ridiculously low prices and I sell at ridiculously high prices. And in between, I've got patience. I'm not going to panic in between. I want to risk it. So if it all goes to crap, hey, I tried. I rolled the dice and I tried, but I'm not going to panic sell because I want the big payout, because the kids need shoes. I got bills to pay. College educations for the kids, man. These bills don't stop. So I would encourage you to make a strategy if you have not. And I would encourage you to buy when prices are low. Buy when there's blood in the streets, when the fear is running high. And sell when everyone else is in a frenzy and saying this is never going to stop. It's going to Mars. It'll never come back down. That's when you sell. And you ignore the people who say, oh, you can't ever sell golden moments. No. Sitting on your golden moments forever will never help you to buy a house or a new car. But that's a topic for another video. I'm going to end that right now. Please let me know if this was helpful to you and if you found this information valuable. And also let me know if you think we have reached the bottom of the market cycle. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. And thank you to all of the great people around the world who are watching the Crypto Pro channel and taking time out of your busy day to share and join into the comments. And thank you for all of the wonderful comments and the positive support that you've been given. Woo! I am lucky that I only have a few trolls who say stupid things on some of my videos, because 99.9% of y'all are just, you all are the golden moments. Yay! Forget the Disney items. It's you, the Crypto Pro viewers, are the true golden moments. That's all I've got. I'm out of here, people.